Now, last class we have seen about last class we have seen about types of selectors in CSS, right? Now here today we'll go to the next concept. We'll go to that next concept, that is nothing but text properties. Okay, that is nothing but text properties. There are different types of text properties is available. Observe very clearly. For example, here, okay, I'll remove this stuff. I want to add the structure of the HTML. How we can add the structure of the HTML now? Okay, now here I'm adding the structure of the HTML, right? Okay, here I'm adding the structure of the HTML. Next, after that, here observe very clearly, I'm going to create one h1 tag here. Okay, I'm going to create one h1 tag here. I'm writing just like a born to be traveler, something, some content here. I'm adding some content like that. Okay, now I want to execute this file. Okay, I want to execute this file, so for that, right click, copy path. I'll paste it in Google Chrome. I'll paste it in Google Chrome. Okay, now we are getting the content, right? Now here I want to bring this content into exact center. Okay, I want to bring this content into exact center, so I have to write the CSS styles. So for that, here I'm going to use style tag is nothing but internal CSS. In that internal CSS, I want to provide styles to this h1 tag. So for that, here I'm selecting that h1 tag. Okay, I'm opening the curly braces. I want here the content is available in the starting position by default, but I want to bring the center. So for that, here we have to use the property called what here? Text align center. Okay, text align center. Now we'll get the content at a exact center also, right? Are you able to understand what I'm saying now? Next, after that, for example, here I want end. Okay, na? Like here I want that content at exact end. Okay, like that here. So observe very clearly. Yes, we are getting the content at the end. For example, I want it starting position. So what I want right here now, we can use start also, end also, or we can say left or right also. So for example, here I'm giving right. Now where will get the content at a exact the right. Yes, we're getting the content or not. So what is the first property here in the text properties? Text align. Okay, now text align. Okay, now what are the things is there in the text align here? Center, center, next left, right, okay, start, end. These all the properties we can use, right? Are you able to understand, sir, what I'm saying now? Next, after that, here, for example, I'm going to create one paragraph tag here. For example, here I'm writing lorem 100, some dummy content I'm going to create. I'll refresh now. Yes, we are getting some content also. I want this content exact center, so for that, here I'm using in that h1 tag text align center. Okay, text align center. Now we'll get that content center, and paragraph tag is also available, right? Are you able to understand what I'm saying now? Next, after that, here we have paragraph tag also, right? Now in this case, each and every word, okay, here lorem is one word, ipsum is one word, dollar is one word. Each and every word I want some space. Okay, each and every word I want some space. So for that paragraph tag, right? So first, here I'm selecting the paragraph tag. In that paragraph tag, I want a space between the word. So for that, here we have to use the property called word spacing. What is the property? Word spacing. Here I am giving the pixel. For example, here I am giving some 30 pixel. We are getting the space between the words or not, sir? I'll give you some 50 pixels, some more pixels, something, some 50 pixel. Now try to understand. We're getting some more space. So what is the property here? Next property, word spacing. Okay, now word spacing. What is the purpose of the word spacing here? It will give the space between the words. Here we have to give what? Pixels. Okay. Okay, sir. Here we are getting space between the words. But I don't want space between the words. I want space between the each and every character. Okay, I want the space between the character. Okay, normal content is there, no, right? I want space between each and every character. So for that, here I'm giving like a letter spacing. Okay, now here I'm giving what? Letter spacing. So here I'm giving 30 pixels, some pixel here. I'll refresh now. We are getting some space or not? If you want some more space, you can give some more space. So here I'm giving some 100 pixel. We'll get more space. Yes. We are getting the space or not, sir? Okay, now so tell me here. If you want a space between the words, we have to use word spacing. If you want space between the letters, here we have to use letter spacing. Okay, word spacing will give the space between the words. Letter spacing will give the space between the characters or letters, right? Next, after that here, okay, now I don't want this. Okay, this paragraph tag. I'll remove this paragraph tag content also, right? Now only h1 tag is there. I'll refresh now. The h1 tag is available in uppercase, right? Okay, some content is available in uppercase. I want to convert this total content to the lowercase. Okay, so h1 tag, right? If you want to convert this content into lowercase, then here we have to use text transform. One property is there. What is the property? Text transform. Now already the content is available in uppercase, right? I want to convert in lowercase. So for that, here I am giving lowercase. Now I'll refresh now. Each and everything we are getting in lowercase or not, sir? Okay, each and everything we are getting lowercase or not? Okay, sir, done. Now here I am going to write this content in lowercase. Same content. Born to be traveler. Okay, lowercase. I actually, the by default the content is in available in lowercase only, but I want to convert to the uppercase. So for that, here I am going to use uppercase. Okay, now here I am going to use uppercase. The content by default available in lowercase, I'm going to convert to the uppercase. We're getting the content or not, sir? Yes. Okay, no problem. Okay, the content is available in lowercase. We can convert to the uppercase by using uppercase property. Next, the content is available in uppercase. We can convert to the lowercase also by using lowercase property. By default, here content is available in lowercase, but here each and every word first character I want uppercase. Okay, each and every word first character I want uppercase. Then here we can use like a capitalize one property is there. It will bring the each and every word first letter uppercase. We are getting the output or not, sir? So tell me, what is the next property now here? Tell me, what is the next property here? Text transform. Okay, now text transform only, right? Text transform. What is the purpose of the text transform here? It is here we can write uppercase, lowercase, capitalize. Okay, na? Uppercase, lowercase, and capitalize, right? Next, after that, here again observe very clearly. For example, here I'm going to create paragraph tag, another one paragraph tag. Here I'm creating, here I'm writing lorem 100. Okay, some 100 words of content we are creating. Okay, some 100 words of content we are getting, but the content by default it is starting from start, right? But I don't want like that. So that starting here I want to give some space. Okay, now here starting I want to give some space. Okay, so for that, here I'm giving one property. I mean, I'm using one property called, it's like a paragraph tag, right? So here I'm selecting the paragraph tag. Okay, this is a which type of selector? Tag name selector, or class name selector, or ID selector, or universal selector, or group selector? Tag name selector. Why? Because here we are using tag name. Okay, so by default here we are getting the content at the starting, but here I want to give some space. So for that, here I am using one property called text indent. Okay, now text indent one property. Here I am giving just 30 pixel. I mean, what is the meaning of that is nothing, but in the starting leave the space 30 pixel. Then you start the content. I'll refresh now. Yes, we are getting some space or not? I want to give some more space. For example, 100 pixel. Okay, 100 pixel space I'm giving. I'll refresh now. Yes, we are getting some more space, right? I'm going to give here some 200 pixel. 200 pixel. I'll refresh now. Yes, we are getting some more space, right? Are you able to understand what I'm saying now? So tell me, what is the next property here? Text indent. Okay, now here we have to give what? Pixels only. Okay, now so now here I don't want this paragraph. I'll remove this. Okay, next after that, okay, next after that here, just I have created one h1 tag. Okay, only one h1 tag is there. I want to refresh this. Yes, h1 tag is there, right? Now here I want to provide some styles to this text. Okay, I want to provide some styles to this text. What are the styles you want to provide, sir? Is nothing but, for example, I want to provide some underline to this tag. Okay, I want to provide some underline. So first here I don't want this capitalize and all, just I want the content in a uppercase. So for that here directly I'll write like a total content in uppercase. Okay, so for that here I'm writing born to be traveler. Okay, so for that here I'm writing by default we'll get the content in center. Yes, perfect. Now here I want to provide underline. So how we can provide the underline? Previous sessions we are using to provide the underline, which tag we are using? U tag. U tag is nothing but what's are here? Underline tag. We'll get the underline also. Say yes or no? Yes, but here this is CSS, right? So don't use the tags. Now here I want to provide the styles only. So for that, if you want to provide the underline, okay now, so for that here I'm going to use one property called text decoration. Text decoration. Now here I'm going to give line. Okay now, text decoration line. So here I want underline. Okay now, here I want what? Underline. Okay, underline. So now here we'll get the underline for the text. Yes, we're getting the underline out, sir. Yes, we're getting the underline. Okay, sir, I don't want underline, I want overline. Is nothing but on the content I want line. So for that here we can provide like a overline also. Okay now, underline, overline. I'll refresh now. Yes, we're getting the overline also, right? Sir, I don't want overline, I don't want underline, I want the line on the content. Okay, on the content. So I mean strike, like that strike. So for that here we can use one property called line through. What is the property here? Line through. If you want underline, line through, right? Okay, right? Now I will refresh now. Yes, we are getting the line through. Are you able to understand, sir? If you want underline, what we want to do now here? Text decoration line, underline. If you want to overline, text decoration line, overline. Line through means text decoration line, line through, right? This is the property. So for that here I'll add that property also. Text decoration, text decoration line. Now here we have to give what? Underline, overline, next line through. Okay na, line through. So like that here I'm giving, right? Okay, sir, done. Now observe very clearly. Text decoration line, okay. Okay, text decoration line, okay, but here line, okay. Okay, for example I want underline, I'm going to take underline here. Underline, you want underline or overline, whatever you want you can take. But in that underline only we can provide some other different styles. We are providing one underline, right? That underline only we can provide some different styles, like a dotted, or dashed, or wavy. Okay, so like the different ways we can provide. Okay, underline is okay. Next after that here we'll go through that. Text decoration style, one property is there. Text decoration you want line. Okay, for that here I'm using line underline. For that underline only I want to provide some styles. What are the styles you want to provide? Is nothing but, first here I'm giving solid. Solid is nothing but normal line only. By default we'll get this a solid line only. Sir, I don't want solid, sir. Then here we can go through that dashed. We can go through that, what here? Dash. We are getting the dashed underline or not here? Response, sir, dashed underline or not? Yes, sir, I don't want a dashed underline, I want dotted underline. Okay, now I want a dotted underline. So I will refresh now. We are getting the dotted underline also, right? Dashed, dotted. So for example I don't want a dashed and a dotted. For example, here I want a double lines. Okay, now for example, here I want double lines. So I will refresh now. Here we are getting the double lines or not? Yes, double lines. Sir, I don't want double lines. I want wavy. Okay, now waves. So for that, here we can use another one property called wavy. Okay, now what is another one property called wavy? I'll refresh now. Yes, we are getting the waves or not, sir? Here. Okay, are you able to understand? Okay, done, sir. So what is the next property now here? Text decoration. Text decoration style. What are the different types of styles is available here? Solid, dashed, dotted, wavy, double, right? Wavy and double, like the different ways available. Next, after that here, next property. Okay, observe the output here. Okay, it's good, but here my property is I want to provide some color to that underline. I want to provide some colors to that underline. So for that, here we have to use another one property called text decoration color. Okay, now text decoration color. For that underline only I am providing the color. For that underline, which color you want? Okay, first we will provide color to that content. Okay, we are going to provide the color to that content. So for example, I want content color is red. Okay, now I'm going to take the content color is red. Now observe very clearly. I'll refresh now. Yes. No. Okay, no problem. Okay, h1 tag content color is red. I want provide like its underline is there, right? I want to provide underline color. So here for that underline color, okay, text decoration color, I'm going to give here black. I'm going to give black. We'll see what will happen. Yes, we're getting the black or not. Okay, for example, I don't like black, so I'll go to that some other color. Chart cruise. Okay, chart cruise. I'll refresh now. Yes, we are getting some color. Sir, you don't like that wavy, so here if you want, you can give solid or double. Which one will go to the? Tell me. I mean, solid. Solid is best, right? So for that, here I'll go to that solid. Okay, solid. Next, after that, here I want the color. I'll take some pink color. It will be looking nice for that. Yes, little bit good. Okay. Uh, Otherwise, I'll take some other color. Which color is best?
Black.
Black, not good. Blue, will see. Blue, will see. I will refresh now. Yes, we are getting the blue color also, right? Are you able to understand what I am saying now here? Response are everyone. Okay, now. So this is nothing but underline, and we are providing the underline color also. So next property is what here? Tell me. Text decoration. Text decoration color here I'm going to use. Here we can use the all the colors, whatever the colors you want. Red, blue, black, whatever you want, you can give, no problem. Okay. Next property is, okay sir, it's good, output is good, but I want to provide some thickness to that underline. I want to provide some thickness to that underline. So for that, here we have to use another one property called text decoration. Text decoration, here I'm going to give thickness. Okay, now text decoration thickness. So here how much thickness you want? For example, I giving just 5 pixel, otherwise some 2 pixel thickness. Okay, now 2 pixels, that underline is there, right? For that underline I want just 2 pixel, so we are getting very small. So I'm going to give some 10 pixel. We'll see. 10 pixel. I will refresh now. Yes, we are getting very big. Okay, now so for that, here I don't want that much. So for that, just I'll go to that some 5 pixel. You'll see that. Yes. Are you able to understand, sir, what I am saying now here? So tell me, what is the next property here? Text decoration thickness. Okay, now text decoration thickness. So for the thickness here, we have to give the pixels. Okay. So 1 minute. Okay, done. It's okay. For example, I want to provide the wavy solid. Okay, so solid I don't want. So here I'll go through that. Wavy, we'll see. Okay, done. Proper content is there, right? Now my concept is I want to provide some shadow to this content. I want to provide some shadow to this content. to provide the shadow, here we have to use one property called, okay, now here we have to use one property called text shadow. What is the properties are here? Text shadow. So here in this text shadow, here we have to give four things. Okay, now what are the four things is nothing but first one is pixels, second one pixels, after pixels, now here I am writing color. Okay, try to understand what is this pixels. Okay, the first pixels is with respect to x axis, second pixels is with respect to y axis, next the third one is with respect to blur ratio. Okay, now blur ratio, how much blur you required. Okay, how much blur you required. Next that shadow color, which color you want for that shadow. Okay, that is the property. Now try to understand here. So for that, here I'm using property called text shadow. Okay, now text shadow. So first x axis is nothing but like a bottom. So for example, bottom I want some 10 pixel. Next y axis also, here I'm giving some 10 pixel. Next blur ratio, here I'm going to give 1 minute, we'll check about that blur ratio also. So for that, here I'll go through that blur ratio in text shadow. Okay, blur ratio in text shadow. Now observe very clearly here. Uh, so here also pixels is there. We'll see that. So for example here, x-axis 10 pixel, y-axis 10 pixel, blur ratio here I'm giving 10 pixel. I want that shadow color is black. I want the shadow color is what? Black. Okay. Now observe very clearly. I'll refresh that. We are getting some like a shadow or not, sir, here. But here that very blur ratio here we are giving 10 pixel, right? So for that it's more blur. So for that, here I'm going to take some 7 pixels. Okay, the little bit blur ratio was reduced, right? Observe very clearly. So I don't want that much. So for that, just I'm giving some 4 pixel. Again observe very clearly. I'll refresh now. Yes, right. I don't want this much also. Just I'm going to give 2 pixels only. Right, proper content is there. Okay, so here the content came down, so I want some up. So for that, what I want to reduce here, x-axis or y-axis? X-axis. So for that, here x-axis I'm taking just 3 pixel. Okay, now x-axis I'm taking just 3 pixel. Yes, no problem. I want to increase y-axis also. So for that, what I want to do now, y-axis also I'm taking just 3 pixels. Okay, 3 pixels. Right, now it's looking nicer. Otherwise you can provide some border color also. So for example, like shadow color also. For example, here I am providing shadow color is, I will take chart cruise here, chart cruise some color. I will refresh now. Yes, we are getting the color. Are you able to understand the shadow here? Are you able to understand, sir, what I am saying? No, this is nothing but text properties. Okay, text align is used to bring the content center, start to left to right to end. Word spacing, it will give the space between the words. Letter spacing, it will give the space between the letters. Text transform, to convert the uppercase, lowercase, or in it for each and every word first letter uppercase. Next, text indent, the content starting position space, how much space is required. Next, text decoration, you want underline or overline line through. Next, the text decoration, if you want underline, that only dashed or dotted or wavy. Next, what is the color of that underline color. Next, how much thickness you want for that underline, overline, that, and the shadow. This is nothing but a text properties. Okay, this is concept is nothing but text properties. Okay.